What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with Famitsu review scores issue 1598. We've got some big scores for Fire Emblem Three Houses and Super Mario Maker 2 on the Nintendo Switch. These two games are battling currently for the best review scores in Famitsu this year and the Famitsu Game of the Year awards. Now, one thing that I do want to note, last year's Game of the Year for Famitsu was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out in 2018, so it's not qualifying for this year because Famitsu is more intelligent than our Game of the Year award shows, or at least not everybody's, but the Game of the Year awards by Jeff Keighley, where they have some type of ridiculous cutoff date. So keep that in mind with this one here. So going forward, Fire Emblem Three Houses and also Super Mario Maker 2 are definitely in the front running, along with a couple other games that released earlier in the year, like Resident Evil Remake and also Devil May Cry. So let's go ahead and start up here. Famitsu did award Super Mario Maker 2 on the Nintendo Switch a 37 out of 40, earning 3 9s and 1 10. And then Fire Emblem Three Houses also earned a 37 out of 40 with 3 9s and a 10. And how Famitsu does it is they have 4 different reviewers review the same game, and then they each give them a score. Then they tally that up together. And Fire Emblem Three Houses, Super Mario Maker 2 did very good. I do feel though that when it comes to head-to-head, if they were able to go against each other, or when they will eventually go against each other when the Famitsu editors are talking about what their Game of the Year is, the RPGs always somewhat have a little bit of a bias or lead. So I don't really see Super Mario Maker 2 winning it if it came down to those two games. However, there still are a number of games to be released this year, like Luigi's Mansion. You also have Astral Chain. Pokemon is coming out, so there's going to be a lot more games that are coming that can get good scores and can challenge the Game of the Year when it comes down to it. So personally for me, you guys all know, I mean, I've played both games with Super Mario Maker 2, and I've played Fire Emblem Three Houses as well, and I just think that Fire Emblem is just something on a completely different level when it comes to evolving the series. So I like Fire Emblem more, but at the same time, Super Mario Maker 2 is still a great game, and I think that it deserved that 37 out of 40 that it's getting. There's literally endless amounts of replay value with Super Mario Maker 2 with the editor and what you're doing with the course bot and going over to just like all the different challenges that you can do. There's just so much stuff, and it has a full single player campaign with a bunch of cool levels designed by Nintendo themselves, where you earn coins and build back the like area, you know, the castle and everything. That is just awesome. So Super Mario Maker 2 is definitely worth every single bit of great scores and sales that it's getting. But Fire Emblem Three Houses is just something else, man. It really is. And I think that people are excited because it's the first real HD Fire Emblem game and the first real HD game for intelligent systems. So 37 out of 40, definitely well deserved for Fire Emblem Three Houses. And if you want to talk about it in a historical sense with the previous Fire Emblem games, when it comes to Famitsu review scores, Fire Emblem Awakening had a 36 out of 40, Fire Emblem Fates had another 36 out of 40, and then Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia had a 37 out of 40. So it matched what Shadow of Valentia did, Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, which is the remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden. It matched what that game did when it came out. So very impressive on that front, that it beat Awakening and it also beat Fates. But then on top of that, it matched what Shadows of Valentia did, which that game pretty much is like one of the best like remakes that I have seen. I mean, they took that pixelated, you know, type of game from back in the NES and really turned that into something else full of life and character, anime cutscenes. It was actually fantastic, and the story is great in that game. So for them to match what they did there, very good. But I think that there's just something about it that even takes it a little bit step further just because of what they're doing. It's a brand new game, not a remake of a game, but a brand new Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch. So good stuff there as well. But now I kind of wanted to shift gears just a little bit and get into the Famitsu sales as well, because there was some interesting stuff going on here with Famitsu sales. And Nintendo Switch pretty much sold 5 times more than any other system in Japan, with over 55,823 units. The Switch is now over 8.5 million, so a big landmark, big sales for Nintendo, over 8.5 million in Japan in less than 3 years on the market. That is absolutely incredible. Nintendo is just humming along. They are selling quite a bit when it comes down to it. We're seeing the spiking last week with Super Mario Maker and of course Fire Emblem Three Houses, the preloads being ready to go. And Nintendo Switch in the top 10, it had 9 out of the top 10 titles. So huge sales for Nintendo in Japan, definitely spiking at the right time. But it's going to be very interesting to see the next week's sales, because that's when Fire Emblem launches, and that's going to be a huge game for Nintendo. Obviously, we've been talking about Fire Emblem, that's going to be big, but I want to see the impact that it has on Switch sales in Japan, especially not necessarily at this point, but I would say in September. I think we're going to see the biggest spike that we've seen for the year so far in September, and we're going to see a raise of sales across the board. And I think even Fire Emblem is definitely going to benefit on September 20th when the Nintendo Switch Lite comes out in Japan, getting stuff like Link's Awakening, Ni no Kuni, and also Yokai Watch 1, and along with the games that have already came out this year like Super Mario Maker and Fire Emblem, that's really going to spike the sales more. So it's selling 5 times more than any other system in Japan at this point, and it's actually selling more systems, the Nintendo Switch, than all the other systems they track right now combined. And it's not even close. That's the thing about it. So it's crazy to see how well Nintendo's doing, and I think pretty much they own Japan at this point, because they just have constant releases after constant releases. And I think that also the new revision of the Switch and also Switch Lite, those are also going to help boost things up as well. So good stuff all around there. We were talking about Super Mario Maker 2 and kind of what it's doing there in Japan, and that was actually the top game sold once again for this week. I think that makes it what the pretty much every single week Super Mario Maker 2 has been out, it's been the top selling game. Over 334,000 units sold in Japan alone since it launched at the end of last month, and another 54,000 units plus for this past week. Very good there. Yokai Watch also in the top 3 as well, with another 12,287 units. That game has actually broken the 200,000 unit mark, 222,000 units plus. This is not including digital as well. Remember guys, this is only Japan, not including digital. And then Bandai Namco, God Eater 3 sold 20,000 units, almost 21,000 without including digital sales. So not as high as the PlayStation 4 release, but then again, the PlayStation 4 release in Japan came out last year at the end in December. So definitely had some head start on it, but I do think that the sales will continue to just be around as more people pick up the game, more people pick up a Nintendo Switch Lite. And then for the rest of the charts, guys, it's pretty much the same usual suspects: Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Kart, Minecraft, Attack on Titan, which came out recently, got another 6,000, 7,000 sales, and then Pokemon as well. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, you have the bundle editions. That game is over 1.57 million units in Japan alone, not including digital, with another nearly 6,000 units sold, again, physical and retail stores. We will get some expanded software numbers in just a bit, so I might report on that later or in one of my live streams as well. So overall, very excited about Fire Emblem. I kind of want to just swing back around to it, guys, and say thank you so much. I had a poll recently on the channel, on the community page, where I asked you guys about what remake you'd want to see in the Echoes line of Fire Emblem, and I already did a video talking about it, but I did a video when we had around, I think, about 1.3 thousand votes. But I looked at it, and oh my gosh, over 3,000 votes for what you guys would like to see get a remake the most when it comes to Fire Emblem, and it has pretty much stayed true. I looked at the results here once again, guys, and a lot of you guys are saying Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War from the Super Famicom / Super Nintendo should be remade. It holds strong with that 47%. Pretty much all of the tallies are the same across the board, what I talked about in my video, but Path of Radiance is behind it with a 26%. So thank you guys so much for voting. We're going to have more Fire Emblem polls in terms of characters and fun stuff. So guys, make sure you hit the notification and make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed, especially if you're a Fire Emblem fan, because I will be pulling some of you guys' comments sometimes, and maybe you can find yourself in one of the videos as well. But we had over 111 comments, over 100 likes on this post. 3,000 votes. So thank you to everybody who voted. Look out, guys, because we're gonna have a lot more polls and we're gonna have a lot more interaction with the community when it comes to Fire Emblem and just games in general, Nintendo first party games, stuff like that, RPGs, all that stuff is going to be on there. So yeah, just make sure you guys hit the notification, and thank you once again. I can't say thank you enough for everybody who voted. That was really cool. And once again, Nintendo is paying attention to my Fire Emblem videos. They know, so they know the PE family wants the Holy War. We want the Holy War back. Fire Emblem Echoes, Holy War, Fire Emblem Echoes, whatever you're gonna want to call it. Shadows of the Holy War. You know, that would be so cool. A lot of you guys also suggested too that they should add in Thracia 776 into the mix. And when it comes down to it, I'm like, yeah, throw it in there as well. If you're going to remake that game, you might as well just throw that one in there too. So Intelligent Systems, the PE Ninja, the Fire Emblem Faithful have spoken. Holy War, we want it. Fire Emblem Echoes, let's get it done on the Nintendo Switch sometime this gen. So what do you guys think about all the different topics that we discussed here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for this RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.